enjoyable for me. But mostly it's just been a lot of fog, not much wind, a bit of rain, lots of birds, a few seals, but yeah, not much else to report.
Popcorn time! Well, here we are approaching St. Paul's Island. Incredibly foggy, so we can't see anything, but St. Paul Island is just there, believe it or not, through the fog. So it's been a 48-hour trip, a little bit more, from St. Matthew's Island. And yeah, apparently this place has one of the most, or has the most dense population of mammals on the planet. The sea lions and the fur seals that nest here. Pretty amazing. St. Paul Island is still about 200 miles north of the Aleutian chain, but this is our last kind of stop. St. Paul and St. George, two little islands next to each other. We'll go ashore here for a while and explore, and then do the last leg down to Dutch Harbour, and then we're through into the Pacific. Coming into the entrance of St. Paul's Harbour now, and there's these really cool puffins that just keep flying past, and they're obviously really curious, and they come really close, and then come back again. What's some of the shower preparation stuff?
Oh, I haven't had a shower in weeks.
How long?
It's been about 3 weeks now since I've had a shower, so I'm hoping that it might be a shower on land. It would be real nice. But we just went for a little wander around town, and it turns out there's only one place to eat, and it closes at 7 o'clock at night, so we missed that.
Which was how long ago? About 10 minutes ago?
So we missed that on that one. So we're back on board. We'll have some dinner and some snacks, but yeah, there's not much to town, really. Like one restaurant, and that's it.
While we're at sea, the sheet ropes flicked the wind turbine blades when they were spinning pretty fast. Snapped off at least, I think, 3 or 4 inches of one of the blades. And we have to take it off, and then we've got no spare set, so we just have to maybe cut the other 2 blades down by the same amount so they're still in balance. You can see it's still foggy here. It's been foggy for days now. We've just been staying on board, eating halibut, basically, and going out whenever it's not 100% foggy to try and get some more photos of puffins and things, which is where we're off to now. But hopefully it clears up a bit.
Where we are, just sitting on the side of a cliff, and there's rockeries and heaps of different birds, little auklets and puffins. It's just been incredible, getting so close to them.
I really wanted to get some close-up photos of the nesting mewers, so I tied myself off so I couldn't fall off the cliff, and then gradually lowered a camera down that I'd made a remote control and wire for, and put it down beside the eggs, and what do you know, it worked.
German cruise ship just invited us on board for a shower. So cool.
That was amazing. Look at this amazing halibut. A local fisherman just gave it to us. It's the smallest one they had. I was just watching them unload and they just gave it to me. We're gonna have halibut for dinner and breakfast and lunch and dinner. Massive, bigger than our biggest frying pan. Look at that for a fillet. That's so thick. I think there's another one, not quite as big, but another one on the other side. Oh, the other fillet is almost as big. Look at that, it's enormous.
So we met a friend who has got a car and has been driving us around the island, and it's just been great to see some of the land out here. And we also met some National Parks and Wildlife Service guys who showed us some of the birds and what they're researching. It's been really fantastic. We just left St. Paul Island after spending about 4 days on there. It was absolutely awesome. So now we're heading towards St. George Island, which is about 40 miles away. So it's just a nice day sail really, our first day sail of the season. So we'll get there and spend a night there and get a good sleep before we head to Dutch Harbour, which is about 200 miles away.
You can see the fog's finally lifted as well, which is amazing. We've been pretty much engulfed in fog for the last 4 or 5 days, barely been able to see anything, but now it looks like it's clearing up. It's great. We're looking around to try and find some whales. A friend we made on the island gave us a nice marine mammal identification book, and now we're just waiting for the animals to show up. We made so many friends on St. Paul Island, it was amazing. Lots of local people and scientists who'd come into the area to study the whales and the halibut fishing industry and so on. But we even got invited to look at the local seal harvest. And he's actually clubbing seals, and we were like, "Oh, this is going to be interesting." But actually, it was amazing. There was just a small group. I think in the end they got about 30 seals, or a bit less, and they only get sort of males aged between 2 and 3, and they herd them up into a little group and chaperone them up onto the grassy kind of hill, and then it was actually amazingly. It looked incredibly humane. Like there were about 4 or 5 people there with the club. And they kind of just get them into little groups at a time, and they just go in there and just go tap. Like I thought they'd be there with like full forceful blows and stuff and all gruesome, but they kind of just went tap, and they said if you know where to do it, it's just right between the eyes, slightly above. And they would literally just kind of go, and the seals just went, just fell peacefully to the ground. And then it was a whole community effort of getting in there, and everyone was doing their piece, you know, skinning it and cutting up all the different bits of meat, and the scientists were in there doing their parasite research and everything. It was just amazing. I kind of actually left feeling like it was a good thing. It was no scrap of the seal was wasted, and they're actually saying that they've had biologists come initially who think, seal clubbing, and they tried to bring in those stun guns that they try and kill cattle with and stuff for the normal meat industry, and they're like, much more humane, and they try that, and the seal still writhes around for a while, and they have to do it several times, and it turned out that actually the club was the most sort of peaceful way for it to go. And they measure that by measuring the temperature of the seal just after they've killed it. Apparently if it's been stressed out, lots of adrenaline, it gets really hot. And they've literally measured it and worked out that the least stressful way was clubbing it just in that spot. It was incredible. It blew me away.
Some of the lovely people on the island that we met decided to have a bonfire for us, and it was great. We spent the evening kind of around the bonfire and chatting and learning about their culture and community. It was really cool.
By the time we left, we had so many friends on the island that were coming down and delivering us everything from dinner, like amazing roast dinners, and bags full of biscuits that they'd cooked for us. And just as we were about to head off, we fueled up with diesel and they headed off, and they were there bringing down coffee to us and donuts, and it was so lovely. They're such incredibly friendly people. One of our favourite stops on the trip, I think. We're starting to pass a whole lot of drifting kelp, which we've got to be pretty careful when we're motoring in case we get it wrapped around the propeller or around the keel or something. But yeah, lots of that around at the moment. If it's not icebergs, it's something else. There was a marine biologist in St. Paul Island, and she really wanted to know what kind of critters and things were in the water out by this island here. And so she said whenever we found huge flocks of birds and things, if we could take a sample, you just sort of chuck it in the water, let it drop down a couple of meters, and then you just pull it back up. And I've been finding there's so much krill and little bugs and beetles and flying shells, and look at all that krill. No wonder this part of the world is so populous with fish and therefore seals and whales. And you kind of empty it in here, and then she's given me some little vials that we then preserve the things in, and then we post them back to her with a GPS position of where we found it. Arriving into St. George, we were completely engulfed in fog, and we kind of found our way through the breakwater eventually and tied up. And almost immediately, the woman we'd been told to look out for, Karen, came down to the wharf, and then she pretty much just put us on the back of her ATV and went, "Oh, the lighting's perfect." And we drove all the way up to one of the bluff cliffs here and looked at all these birds and just the poppies everywhere. It was amazing. So many yellow poppies everywhere. and foxes and the views and the birds. Amazing. And we went back to our little cabin and really, really cool. And then this morning we headed off and she gave us some pizza and all kinds of goodies, chocolates, and everyone is just incredibly friendly here. It's just so special. Wish we could have stayed longer, but we're going to head off now and we're heading towards Dutch Harbour now. But on the way we actually passed the big canyon in the sea floor where a lot of nutrients come up, and there should be hopefully a lot of whale activity and dolphins and birds and that kind of stuff there. That should be really exciting.
The last yacht that they had in St George was about 3 years ago, so it was pretty cool that we got to go there, and they haven't had many yachts. It felt pretty special.
I'm just rigging up the Troll Pro towing GoPro mount here to get ready to hopefully, if we get some dolphins later on, we can just kind of tow this in the water like that, just ahead of the dolphins, and then we should get some beautiful footage of them hopefully bow riding from in front.
So after 3 days out at sea, we finally made it into Dutch Harbour. Such a beautiful place. No trees, big lush green mountains to walk up. It was just a stunning place to be.
Just heading out around Prayer Rock now. It's supposed to look like someone praying. Heading out of Dutch Harbour. We spent about a day and a half in there, and it was actually really, really lovely. We went out for dinner the first night we got there, and in a pub there. And the bartender girl, we said, you know, we've got a day left. What would you do in Dutch Harbour if you had a day? And she's like, oh, tomorrow come with me and we'll drive around and I'll show you all the mountains and the lookouts, and just amazing, so beautiful. And everyone again is so friendly. We keep saying that in every video, but it's hard to believe how friendly everyone is.
We resupplied on some fuel, some food, and some water as well. And then we met up with another friend who actually took us up to this big mountain where there's lots of World War II kind of relics, like fortresses and gun turrets and yeah, all these old bunkers. It was really like amazing, incredible stuff that we haven't really seen much before of. And while we were looking out at this view, there was these humpback whales down below as well. That was pretty cool. But yeah, just a beautiful part of the world and a beautiful